Piece of TOPIK is the #1 tool in studying topic grammar. Today is the second time learning about verbs. I'll summarize what we learned in the last lesson. Verbs change. But there is a part that contains the central meaning and never changes. For example, 먹 in 먹다, 먹고 싶다, 먹고 싶지만. This is called the verb stem, while the part that changes is called the verb ending. In the last lesson, we also learned how to make the negative form. You can make the negative form by adding 지안 after the verb stem or adding 안 before the verb. You can also add the meaning of unable to by adding 지 못하 after the verb stem or adding 못 before the verb. There can be honorifics, tense, negative form, and nuance between the verb stem and the verb ending. We studied honorifics, tense, negative form in the last lesson. If you haven't watched the last lesson yet, please watch it. It's not a long video, and I promise you it'll be helpful in understanding verbs. Today, we're going to learn about nuances. Overall, it is easy to understand, but there are many things to memorize, so don't miss to take a screenshot page. Today, we'll be taking a peek at someone's diary. Let's take a look at the first page. Don't be shy, read it out loud with me. 지수는 운전할 수 있습니다. 지수는 혼자서 운전해도 됩니다. 저는 운전할 줄 모릅니다. 그래서 저는 혼자 운전하면 안 됩니다. 저는 운전면허증이 없습니다. Now, we'll analyze and learn the underlying words here. In order to interpret these verbs well, you mainly need to do two things. The first is memorizing. Memorize the take a screenshot page at the end of each page of the diary. Secondly, you need to know how to find the grammar you memorize and will practice identifying them in today's lesson. The reason why this identification practice is important is because we can infer the meanings of the words that we don't know from the words that we do know. I'll show you the identifying process in the first page, and then you'll practice by filling in the blanks in the second and the third. First of all, we learned that 비읍니다 or 씁니다 are honorific expressions in the last lesson. If I take this part out, it leaves 운전할 수 있다. 운전하다 means drive and 수 있다 means be able to. So, what does 운전할 수 있다 mean now? What happened was that this person wanted to add the nuance be able to the word drive and wrote the two together. Unlike English, Korean verbs are slightly modified in the process of combining them. The combination of 운전하, the verb stem of 운전하다, and 릴 수 있다 became 운전할 수 있다. Then they added 씁니다 to say 운전할 수 있다 politely. To sum up, 운전하다 and 수 있다 were combined to become 운전할 수 있다, and 씁니다 was added for politeness. In the second sentence, 어도 되다 or 아도 되다 means be allowed to. 운전하, the verb stem of 운전하다, which means drive, and 도 되다 are combined to become 운전해도 되다. 비읍니다, which makes the honorific form, is then added to become 운전해도 됩니다, and it means be allowed to drive. 를 줄 모르다 or 을 줄 모르다 in the third sentence means not know how to. 운전하, the verb stem of 운전하다, which means drive, and 를 줄 모르다 are combined to become 운전할 줄 모르다. The honorific word 비읍니다 is added to make 운전할 줄 모릅니다, which means not know how to drive. In the last sentence, 면 안 되다 or 으면 안 되다 means shouldn't. 운전하, the verb stem of 운전하다, which means drive, and 면 안 된다 are combined to become 운전하면 안 되다. The honorific word 비읍니다 is added to become 운전하면 안 됩니다. And it means shouldn't drive. Do you understand? It can be difficult at first and you may feel like there's a lot to memorize. So I prepared a pro tip to make it easier for you. We make things a little easier by knowing the following words. The opposite of 알다 is 모르다. 있다 is 없다. And 이다 is 아니다. Keep this in mind. Okay, for example, in the third sentence, what does 운전할 줄 알다 mean? Yes, it's the opposite of 모르다, so it means know how to drive. Or if you want to say unable to drive in the first sentence, instead of 있다, you can use 없다 to write 운전할 수 없다. Be sure to memorize this page. If you're paying close attention, you may have noticed something different about this page. Did you find it? I didn't write the beginning part here. When studying topic, it's hard to memorize these parts. There are two options when it comes to this. First, memorize everything including the beginning part. The good thing about memorizing the beginning part is that you can understand the verb's transformation better, such as why ha becomes har here. The second option is not to memorize the beginning part. Even if you do that, you still can guess the meaning, and topic doesn't ask you to choose between ha and har. So you don't have to memorize it now. That's why I made the take a screenshot page like this. Don't forget to try to interpret the first page of the diary by yourself to check if you memorize everything well. From the second page on, you should be able to identify the words and grammars by yourself. The more you practice reading, the better you'll get. Let's read it aloud. 저는 2022년에 한국에 가려고 합니다. 그래서 요즘 한국어를 공부하는 중입니다. 한국에 가서 어학당에서 공부할 것입니다. 저는 한국을 여행한 적이 있습니다. 원래는 2020년에 한국에 가기로 했었습니다. 그런데 코로나 바이러스 때문에 한국을 가지 못했습니다. 그래서 지금은 베트남에 살고 있습니다. 2022년에 한국을 가면 좋겠습니다. Let's do the first sentence together as a warm-up. In the first sentence, 려고 하다 or 으려고 하다 means plan to / try to. 가, the verb stem of 가다, which means go, and 려고 하다 are combined to become 가려고 하다. The honorific word 비읍니다 is added to become 가려고 합니다, and it means try to / plan to go. Right? I said earlier that the ability to guess with given clues is important, so pause here and fill in the blanks. In the second sentence, 는 중이다 means be ing. 공부하, the verb stem of 공부하다, which means study, and 는 중이다 are combined to become 공부하는 중이다. The honorific word 비읍니다 is added to become 공부하는 중입니다, and it means be studying. In the third sentence, 늘 것이다 or 을 것이다 means be going to. 공부하, the verb stem of 공부하다, which means study, and 릴 것이다 are combined to become 공부할 것이다. The honorific word 비읍니다 is added to become 공부할 것입니다, and it means be going to study. In the fourth sentence, 니은 적이 있다 or 은 적이 있다 means have done. 여행하, the verb stem of 여행하다, which means travel, and 니은 적이 있다 are combined to become 여행한 적이 있다. The honorific word 습니다 is added to become 여행한 적이 있습니다, and it means have traveled. In the fifth sentence, 기로하다 means decide to. 가, the verb stem of 가다, which means go, and 기로하다 are combined to become 가기로 하다. On top of that, 엇, which makes the past tense, and the honorific word 씁니다 are added, so it becomes 가기로 했었습니다. In the last lesson, we learned that if we look at the 엇 or at, we can infer that it is the past tense. If you can't remember, it's fine. You can just go back and review the last lesson. In the sixth sentence, 고 있다 means be ing. 살, the verb stem of 살다, which means live, and 고 있다 are combined to become 살고 있다. The honorific word 씁니다 is added to become 살고 있습니다, and it means be living. In the last sentence, 면 좋겠다 or 으면 좋겠다 means wish to. 가, the verb stem of 가다, which means go, and 면 좋겠다 are combined to become 가면 좋겠다. The honorific word 씁니다 is added to become 가면 좋겠습니다, and it means wish to go. There's something we keep repeating. Yes, 씁니다 or 비웁니다. Why? Because the topic test is official writing. But you don't have to think, oh, 씁니다 slash 비웁니다 is added because this is an official document every time you see 씁니다 or 비웁니다 on the topic test. You can even ignore it because it's always there. So, from now on, we'll be skipping that part while we practice analyzing. Be sure to memorize this page. Try to interpret the second page of the diary by yourself to check if you memorize it well. Let's analyze the last page. Let's read it together. 3, 2, 1. 혜진이는 매일 수영을 배우러 갑니다. 아침 9시에 수영 연습하기 시작합니다. 수영 후에는 학교에 가야 합니다. 11시부터 수업이 있기 때문입니다. 수업을 들을 때는 피곤해서 자고 싶습니다. In the first sentence, 러 가다 or 으러 가다 means go to. 배우, the verb stem of 배우다, which means learn, and 러 가다 are combined to become 배우러 가다, and it means go to learn. As I mentioned earlier, don't worry about the 씁니다 or 비웁니다 anymore. In the second sentence, 기 시작하다 means start to. 연습하, the verb stem of 연습하다, which means practice, and 기 시작하다 are combined to become 연습하기 시작하다, and it means start to practice. In the third sentence, 아 or 어야 하다 means have to. 가, the verb stem of 가다, which means go, and 야 하다 are combined to become 가야 하다, and it means have to go. In the fourth sentence, 기 때문이다 means because slash because of. it, the verb stem of 있다, which means have, and 기 때문이다 are combined to become 있기 때문이다, and it means because have. In the last sentence, 고 싶다 means want to. 자, the verb stem of 자다, which means sleep, and 고 싶다 are combined to become 자고 싶다, and it means want to sleep. For your information, 러 오다 and 러 다니다 don't show up as often as 러 가다, but it's still good to remember them because they have very similar grammar structures. Basically, 가다 means go, 오다 means come, and 다니다 is similar to go, but it's more like regularly go. So, 러 오다 or 으러 오다 means come to, and 러 다니다 or 으러 다니다 means regularly go to. Be sure to memorize this page. Try to interpret the third page of the diary by yourself to check if you memorize it well. What you've learned today is words and grammar that often appear in the topic test. So make sure to rewatch the lesson as much as you need and memorize the take a screenshot pages. If you've memorized them all, you'll be able to solve the following topic sample question from previous tests. Pause for a second and choose the right word to fill in the blank. What's your answer? First sentence, 저는 음악 공연 보는 것을 좋아합니다. I like watching musical performances. 하지만 요즘에는 바빠서. You'll learn some more details in the next lesson, but to give you a sneak peek, if you see letters like 서, meaning because, and 고, meaning and, it's good to break off the sentence right there. But because busy these days, 공연을 거의 보지 못했습니다. The combination of 보다, 지 못하다, and past tense has become 보지 못했다, meaning wasn't able to watch a lot of performances. 오늘은 일이 빨리 끝나서 there's a 서, so we'll break off the sentence here. Because work ended earlier today, 오랜만에 친구와 같이 공연을 blank. For the first time in a while, with a friend, blank of performance. Okay, let's stop here and read the options. 보러 갔습니다. 봐야 했습니다. 보지 않았습니다. 볼 수 없었습니다. It's usually good to take a look at one or two lines more after the blank. 공연은 정말 신나고 좋았습니다. The performance was really exciting and good. Okay, 보러 갔습니다 is a combination of 보다 and 러가다, and it means go to watch. It's okay to know this much, but if you find out that 상시옷 is added here for the past tense, you did a great job. Also, don't forget that we've decided not to care about 비읍니다 here. Number 2, 봐야 했습니다 is the combination of 보다, 야하다, past tense, and it means had to watch. Number 3, 보지 않았습니다 is the combination of 보다, 지 않다, past tense, and it means didn't watch. Number 4, 볼 수 없었습니다 is the combination of 보다, 수 없다, past tense, and it means wasn't able to watch. Okay, what's the answer? Number 3 and 4 can't be the answer because the writer did watch the performance and said it was really good and exciting. You may be stuck between number 2 and number 1. The answer is number 1, went to watch the performance, and the full sentence is for the first time in a while, went to watch a performance with a friend. It is also really important to be able to explain why it is not number 2. In the first sentence, the writer said they like to watch musical performances. For the writer, a musical performance is not something they have to do. You can see that there are many hidden hints in the given paragraph. Pause for a second and choose the right word to fill in the blank. What's your answer? 저는 작년 한국 여행 때 비행기를 처음 탔습니다. I was on the plane for the first time for my trip to Korea last year. 그런데 비행기 안에서 귀가 blank. But in the plane, ears blank. I said it's better to read one or two more sentences after the blank, so I'll carry on. 귀가 계속 아파서 because ears kept hurting, 여행이 즐겁지 않았습니다. The trip wasn't pleasant. Let's stop here and try to find the answer. Number 1, 아플 수 있습니다 is the combination of 아프다, 를 수 있다, and it means can hurt. Number 2, 아프면 안 됩니다 is the combination of 아프다, 면 안 된다, and it means shouldn't hurt. Number 3, 아프지 않았습니다 is the combination of 아프다, 지 않다, past tense, and it means did not hurt. Number 4, 아프기 시작했습니다 is the combination of 아프다, 기 시작하다, past tense, and it means started to hurt. The given paragraph said the trip was not pleasant because ear hurts. Therefore, number 4 should be the answer so that it means ears started to hurt on the plane. Pause for a second and choose the right word to fill in the blank. What's your answer? 요즘 사람들이 새로운 방법으로 살을 뺍니다. These days, people lose weight in a new way. 하루에 8시간 동안은 음식을 먹을 수 있고 You're allowed to eat for 8 hours a day. 16시간 동안은 음식을 먹지 않습니다. What? 먹지 않습니다 here. As a combination of 먹지 않다. Don't forget that the negative form is always important. It means and you don't eat food for 16 hours. 음식을 먹을 때는 먹고 싶은 음식을 다 먹어도 됩니다. What's 먹어도 됩니다? It's the combination of 먹다 and 도 되다, and it means be allowed to eat. You are allowed to eat whatever you wanna eat when you eat. 매일 이렇게 하면 힘들이지 않고 means if you do this every day without any effort, 건강하게 살을 blank. You blank weight healthily. Number 1. 빼면 안 됩니다. Number 2. 빼야 합니다. Number 3. 뺄까 합니다. Number 4. 뺄 수 있습니다. What's the answer? First, 살을 빼다 means lose weight. What does 빼면 안 됩니다 means? 빼면 안 됩니다 is the combination of 빼다, 면 안 되다, and it means shouldn't lose. Number 2, 빼야 합니다 is the combination of 빼다, 야하다, and it means have to lose. Number 3, 뺄까 합니다. We didn't learn number 3's 늘까 합니다. It's not in the topic very often, but it's good to remember. 늘까 합니다 is thinking about, going to do. So here it means thinking about losing weight. Number 4, 뺄 수 있습니다 is a combination of 빼다, 수 있다, and it means can lose. What's the answer now? For the sentence to make sense, it should be, if you do this every day, you can lose weight without any effort. The answer is number 4. To give you a pro tip, if there is a form, 야하다, like in number 2, the context usually provides the reason why you should do something, such as because someone asked you to do it. Let's look at the last question. It looks a bit long, but topic questions are usually this long. Pause for a second and choose the right word to fill in the blank. What's your answer? 최근 연극 봄날이 젊은 사람들에게 인기입니다. Recently, the play 봄날 is popular with young people. 내용은 보통 사람들의 이야기라서 because the story is about the love of ordinary people, 특별하지 않습니다. There's nothing special. 하지만 많은 사람들에게 인기가 있는 이유는 연극에 나오는 노래가 좋기 때문입니다. But the reason it's popular with many people is because the songs in the play are good. 그 노래를 다시 듣고 싶어서 because want to listen to the songs again. 이 연극을 여러 번 보는 사람들도 있습니다. There are people who watch this play many times. 그래서 얼마 전부터 극장에서는 2번 이상 연극을 보러 오는 사람들에게 노래가 들어있는 CD를 선물로 blank. It's a long sentence, so we'll split it into pieces and try to interpret them one by one. 그래서 얼마 전부터 극장에서는 So starting a while ago, the theater 2번 이상 연극을 보러 오는 사람들에게 To people who come and watch the play more than once, 노래가 들어있는 CD를 A CD with the songs on it, 선물로 blank. Blank as a gift. To sum up, it's So starting a while ago, the theater blank a CD with the songs on it as a gift to people who come and see the play more than once. 주면 안 됩니다 is a combination of 주다 and 면 안 된다, and it means shouldn't give. 줄 수 없습니다 is a combination of 주다 and 수 없다, and it means unable to give. 주지 못합니다 as a combination of 주다 and 지 못하다, and it means can't give. 주고 있습니다 as a combination of 주다 and 고 있다, and it means is giving. The answer is number 4. The next lesson is the last lesson of topic grammar. While we are solving the questions today, we'll learn to break off a sentence whenever we see 서 or 고, right? We'll learn about the verb variations that don't end with 타 in the next lesson and solve some more topic sample questions from the previous tests. Don't forget to review today's lesson. Thanks for watching!